Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another game in May Madness. We're getting close. We're down to the final 7 teams. One game in the Elite Eight is already complete, and that being done yesterday on Memorial Day. The Brooklyn Dodgers ousted the 70 Orioles. Today, we've got the Oakland A's, Moneyball Oakland A's 2002, taking on the 78 Yankees for the right to play Brooklyn in the Final Four. So let's look at the starting lineups for both teams. Visiting team is the Yankees because of the lower seed. So we'll lead off with the Yankees. We got Mickey Rivers in center field. Willie Randolph's at second. Thurman Munson behind the plate. Reggie Jackson's the DH. Lou Piniella is in right field. Chris Chambliss is at first. Nettles is at third. Roy White's in left. And Bucky Bleepin' Dent bats ninth. On the mound for the Yankees, Catfish Hunter. In 1978, he was 12-8, 3.58 ERA. He is the number 3 starter for the Yankees. If the Yankees advance, they will go to Ron Guidry to face Brooklyn in the Final Four. For the A's, Ray Durham leads things off at second base. Jeremy Giambi is in left field. Miguel Tejada's at short. Eric Chavez is at third. David Justice is in right field, hitting fifth. Scott Hatteberg is at first, hitting sixth. Ramon Hernandez is a catcher, hitting 7th. Carlos Pena is the DH. He will hit 8th. And Terrence Long, center fielder, will bat 9th. Mark Mulder on the mound for the A's, the left-hander, 19-7 with a 3.47 ERA. All right, so with all that lineups and circumstance, pomp and circumstance out of the way, it's time to go. And we have Mickey Rivers, lefty on lefty, and we got the dice here. Try to get Yankee dice as best I could, white and blue, and then the green for Oakland. It's the best I could get. Don't have every single color dice there is. So this is the best I could do. All right, so Mickey Rivers facing off against Mark Mulder for the right to play Brooklyn in the Final Four. 1-6 for Mickey Rivers, and that's going to be a ground ball to first, handled by Hatteberg. One away. Turn this lamplight on. I don't know if that's going to help or not. It may. I don't know. Somebody can let me know if it's worse or better with that light on. Let's see. Next man up is Willie Randolph. Hey, Mike, let me know if it's better this way with the light or better that way without the light. Is there a difference at all in what you can see? Or does the light cause more glare? If you can let me know the difference between that and that. If it shows up better to you without the light, I'll leave the light off. If it's no difference or it's better with the light, I'll leave the light on. But if it's better without it, I'll leave it without it. So somebody please just let me know so I can make those adjustments. 4-8 off of Mulder against a righty. Ground ball to short. That's going to be Tejada. No lamp is better. Sounds good to me. All right, so Tejada makes the play. I also make sure it's light enough so you can see it because it's kind of cloudy here, so I don't have a whole lot of light going on. So I'm hoping the camera itself will give enough light to, well, it's not a camera, it's my phone. My phone is my camera, so hopefully this will do it. And it's actually a 4-year-old phone, too. Samsung S7. Had it for like 5 years, I think. Probably time to upgrade. 310 against Mulder for Munson. And that's a fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down go the Yankees of 78. Against the A's, Mark Mulder puts them down 1-2-3. A's are going to be a tough team to beat because they have 3 really good starters, and that's all you really need. Yankees, of course, going with Catfish, their number 3 starter behind Figueroa and Guidry. So Yankees just trying to survive and get to Guidry. All right, so here is Ray Durham to lead things off. Switch hitter batting left-handed against Mr. Catfish. 2-5. Oh, he's doing some damage right here. 1-4 is a triple. 5-20 is a double. So it could be some damage done with this Oakland A's green D20. It's a 10. It's a 10. And a 10 is going to get a double for Ray Durham. So leadoff double for Ray Durham. I am off today. I decided I got to start using some vacation because I'm working from home, and the management's like, hey, you got to start using vacation because we can't wait for you to get back to the office and try to take 20 days of vacation in 2 months. So figured I'd extend the holiday weekend one more day. It gives me a chance to catch up on this and try to get this tournament done before the end of the month. Here's Jeremy Giambi And Durham will be held. He's a ace dealer. 2-8. 2-8 for Giambi against Catfish, and that's a walk. So Giambi draws a walk. That's money ball at its finest, getting those walks. So 2 on, nobody out. And Miguel Tejada, the batter. 4-7 against Catfish. That's a strikeout. So Catfish needed that. He gets the strikeout of Tejada. Kind of ironic that the Catfish would be going against his old team, the Oakland A's. Just the way it worked out. Here's Eric Chavez. 2-7. All these hits in column 2, and he found a fly ball center field B. Go figure. So that's 2 down. Mickey Rivers puts it away. And David Justice, the batter. 2-6 for Justice. 1-7's a homer. 7-20, or I'm sorry, 8-20, he flies to left. So 1-7, we got a 3-run bomb for Justice. 8 or more, and it's just a measly fly out. It's a 17, so it's a measly fly to left. And I'm playing it wherever it lies. If it doesn't land here and it lands over here, I'm not re-rolling it. I'm just going to go with it as it lies. Use the golf analogy. So that's it for the A's. They leave 2 on. Come up empty. Top of the second we go. And it will be Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. Is he Mr. May? We'll find out. Lefty on lefty. 4-8 for Reggie against the lefty for Mulder. 4-8's a strikeout. So Mulder puts away Reggie. 1 away. Brings with Sweet Lou Piniella. He is the right fielder with Reggie DHing. 6-9 against Mulder. 6-9 is a fly ball. Well, I almost can't see that because it's kind of dark on my side. Fly ball. What is that? Is that right or left? Left. Fly ball to left. Boy, my eyes are getting not as good as they used to be. Fly to left. 2 down. So 2 up, 2 down. That brings up Chris Chambliss, first baseman. Chambliss, a 5-7 against Mulder. Struck him out. So that's going to end the inning. So Mulder, 1-2-3. Gets it done. I was actually going to record this game and upload it, but it takes so long for YouTube to upload these things. It might be June before it uploads, so I figured since I had the time, I usually do a premiere about this time, so I figured why not do live since I was off. All right, here's Hatteberg. 3-5 for Hatteberg. 3-5. 1-7's a triple. 8-20 is a single. So 1-7's a triple, 8-20 is a single. That's a single for Hatteberg, leadoff single for Scott Hatteberg. He is an East dealer. He will not be held. Brings up Ramon Hernandez. He's a B bunter. So they're going to have him bunt. Turns him into a C bunter. C bunter and a 6. So I think that does okay. C and a 6. Batter is thrown up by third baseman. So Nettles fields it. Throws to Randolph covering second. 5-4 on the sacrifice. And Hatteberg goes to second base. So playing a little small ball. And they're going to depend on Carlos Pena. Try to drive home that run. 6-11 on Hunter. Fly ball right field X, that is Piniella. And Piniella, Sweet Lou, is a 3-E12. Ooh, lots of errors there. High error rating. 3-E12 on Piniella. Could be risky. He's 7 and a 3. I think he'll get to that. Oops. I think he will get to that. Let's see. A 3 and a 7 is barely an F1. 3 and a 6 would have been a single. F1 on the 3 and 7. And we rolled a 12. And his E rating is a 12. So a 12 and a 12. Boy, he got lucky. 13 and 14 would have been errors, but 12 is not. So it's an F1. And an F1 with the runner at second is not going to do anything. It's just an F1. So nice play there by Piniella. Hung in there tough. Got that tough sinking liner from Pena. Made the catch. 2 down. That brings up the number 9 hitter, Terrence Long, center fielder. 2 outs, runner at second. And Hatteberg's not being held because he's the East dealer. 3-3. 3-3 is a ground ball C. That's second base C. That's going to end the inning. When I get to these triangles, I'm only doing the triangle result. I'm not splitting it up because I'm trying to stay advanced as much as possible. Just the super advanced fielding. So again, A's leave a runner in scoring position. Come away empty. We go to the third. No score. And due up for the Yankees will be Greg Nettles. It'll be Nettles, White, And let's see here. Nettles, White, and Dent. Bottom third of the order against Mulder. In fact, let me move this over here just a touch. Okay. All right, 3-8. 3-8 Nettles against the lefty. 3-8's a pop out to first. So Hatterberg makes the play. And I probably should have used Hatterberg as the DH and Pena at first, because Pena is a 2 and Hatterberg is a 4. I didn't pay attention to that, but too late now. So the A's are just going to have to live with it. 1-9, White against the lefty on a 1-9 is a walk. So Roy White draws a 1-out walk. And he is a B base stealer, so he will be held, but he won't run anywhere. Here's Bucky Dent. Bucky bleeping Dent. 3-2 against the lefty. Ground ball shortstop A. That's a 6-4-3 tailor-made double play. So Bucky Dent grounds into the twin killing. We go to the bottom of the third. No score. Can't say from Oakland because it's a neutral field in this tournament. Only advantage the home team gets is last at bat. So here now is Ray Durham. We're back to the top of the order for Oakland. Durham doubled his first time up, but was stranded. 3-12 for Durham. He's going to draw a leadoff walk. And he may be looking to run. He's an A stealer. Have to check Munson's arm. Munson is a -1. Durham as an A stealer starts as a 15. Being held makes him a 13. -1 makes him a 12. So 1-12, he'll make it. And they're going to try it. 1-12. Much to the dismay of Billy Bean, who doesn't like the stolen base. 1-12, he'll make it. 7, he does make it. Stolen base. Art Howe made the call. He steals second base. He's in scoring position with nobody out for Jeremy Giambi. He's a D bunter, so we're not going to have any bunting. All right, 1-7. 1-7 for Giambi. Ground ball second base A with a plus sign. But the second baseman is not responsible for holding the runner against a lefty. The shortstop is, so it will not get through for a hit. It will simply be a ground ball to second with the runner advancing to third. Had it been a shortstop plus, that would have gotten through for a hit. But since it was a lefty up, it was just simply a ground out. Now, Yankees going to bring the infield in. They don't want to give up a cheap run. Runner at third, less than 2 outs. Here's Tejada. He struck out his first chance. 1-8. 1-8 is going to get a solid single. Solid single. Didn't matter if they were in or out on that one. That's a solid single. So the A's play a little small ball. A walk, a stolen base, a ground ball to the right side, and then a single. Tejada is a C stealer. He will be held. And there's one away for Eric Chavez. 1-10 for Chavez. He's going to pop it up to Dent at short. That is out number 2. But the A's do lead at 1-0. Here's Justice, the right fielder. 5-9, Hunter against the lefty. Oh, it's trouble for Hunter. 5-9. 1-12 is a home run, and obviously he has normal power. And 13-20 is a triple. So 1-12 when we got a 2-run homer from Justice. It is a 2. It's a home run. David Justice, a 2-run homer. And the A's now lead it 3-0. And Catfish might be short for this game. Might be looking at Dick Tidrow going long relief. All right, it's 3-0 in favor of the A's with 2 outs. Base is clear to Scott Hatterberg. 1-9 for Hatterberg, and he's going to fly to right to end the inning, handled by Piniella. But damage done. 3 spot on the board for the A's. They lead it 3-0. As we go to the 4th. Top of the order for the Yankees. Mulder has faced the minimum thanks to the double play. So here's Mickey Rivers, Mick the Quick, trying to get something started for the Yankees. 2-4 against the lefty. 2-4. It's a pop out to second. Handled by Durham. 1 away. Would have been a ballpark check on a super advance, but we're not doing super advanced. Here's Willie Randolph. 4-4. 4-4 is a fly ball center field X. That's Terrence Long, and one of these things the Moneyball A's don't have is good fielding. A lot of their fielders are 4s and 3s. In this case, Terrence Long is a 4E8. So this ball might very well drop in. 4E8. 4 and a 19, though, he'll get to that. E8 and a 10 should be okay. We'll double check it. E8, there is no 10, so it's good play. The 4 and 19 is an F3. So with nobody on base, it really doesn't matter. He just gets to it. That's what the important part. So Randolph is out of there. 2 down. Brings up Thurman Munson, the captain. 1-7 for Munson. In all these hits in column 1, he found ground ball shortstop A. So Tejada makes the play. Inning's over. We go to the bottom of the 4th. And Bob Lemon will have a short leash on Catfish. Dick Tidrow is already loosening in the pen, just in case. Doing some light tossing down there. Catfish coming back out will face Ramon Hernandez, followed by Pena and Long, bottom third of the order. 3-6 for Hernandez, and he's going to ground to Nettles. 1 away. So Hunter trying to regroup from the previous inning. Here's Carlos Pena. 5-7 for Pena against Catfish is a strikeout. Catfish rings him up. 2 up, 2 down, and that's going to bring up Terrence Long, number 8 hitter. Winner of this game plays the 55 Dodgers in the Final Four. 3-5. 3-5 for Long. 1-2 is a single. Anything else, he will line out to Willie Randolph on a 3 through 20. That's a 17, so he lines to Randolph. And that's going to end the inning. So 4 innings in the books. It is still 3-0 to A's. Mulder back out, and he's got a fatigue of 7. Catfish has a fatigue of 6. So Mulder's got a 7, so as long as he's effective, he can go pretty good. Here's Reggie Jackson, lefty on lefty. Reggie struck out his first time up, 4-10. 4-10. He will fly to right. Justice has it. 1 away. And here's Sweet Lou. Flew to the left his first time up. 6-8. 6-8. A 1-15 is a single. Anything else, he grounds to Hatterberg. So 1-15, and we got our first hit of the game for the Yankees. Whoops, let's roll it where we can get it on the score card. It is a base hit, so that breaks up the no-hitter here in the 5th. So Piniella reaches. He's a D-stealer. He will not be held. Brings up Chris Chambliss. 5-9. Chambliss lefty on lefty. 5-9. Ooh, chance for a home run. He does have normal power against lefties. So 1-9, Chris Chambliss has a 2-run homer. 10-20, it's a double, and we'll see if Piniella can score. But a 1-9, it's a 2-run bomb. It's a 13, so it's a double. So now the question is, will the runner score? To do some calculations, the double is assumed to go to center field. And Terrence Long has a +1 arm, so that will help the runner. And then the runner in Piniella is an 11. He wasn't being held, makes him a 12. +1 arm makes him a 13. So 1-13, he can score with 1 out. But if you get him thrown out, then you really ruined your inning. You still have Nettles coming up along with Roy White. So they're going to, down 3-0, they're going to play it safe. Hold the runner at third base. And it's up to Greg Nettles and Roy White to bring him home. 1 out, runners at second and third. A's playing the infield back. They'll give up the run to get the out. 2-10, Nettles, 2-10. Fly ball left field, B question marks. This chance for a sacrifice fly for Piniella. Or Piniella to score on, rather. He's a 1-11, so you add 2, it makes him a 13. And then we need the left fielder's arm, which in this case is Giambi. He's a +2, so that's going to give Piniella a chance to score even more. So 13, it's a 15. 1-15, he will score. Anything else, he's going to be out. 13, he does make it. Sacrifice fly by Nettles. Gets it done. The Yankees are finally on the board. Cuts the lead to 3-1. Now there's 2 outs and a runner at second for Roy White. 1-7 against the lefty. Roy White's going to do some damage. That's going to be another run. 1-7's a double. 8-20 is a single. 2 stars both ways, so the run will score regardless. It's an 8, which checks in as a single. But it's 2 stars for Roy White on that single. That will score Chambliss. It's a 3-2 game all of a sudden. Yankees right back in it. 2 outs. Roy White will be held. He's a B-stealer. And that brings up Bucky Dent. 5-9. And that's trouble here. 5-9. Bucky Dent has weak power against lefties, so he cannot hit a home run. So 1 to 8 would be a single, 9 to 20 would be a double. And a double, he could try to score. 1 to 8, the runner can only go to third. So 1 to 8, it's a single. 9 to 20, we got a tie game possibly. It's a 3, it's a single. So 2 stars on the single. Puts runners at the corners. Yankees still threatening. Bucky Dent will not be held as a D stealer. And here's Mickey Rivers, Mick the Quick. And now, it's time for Art Howe to squirm a little bit. Mulder trying to get out of this. 3-8. Rivers against the lefty. He does. Pops it up to first. Hatterberg's got it. But the Yankees put up 2. Cut that lead to 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Gives Bob Lemon some hope. And Catfish some hope as well. So Catfish will be facing Ray Durham. Top of the order. For the A's, he's doubled and walked. He's a switch hitter batting left-handed, 5-3 against Catfish. Ground ball first base X, that is Chris Chambliss. And his fielding rating on Chambliss, he checks in as a 2E4. So most likely will be a good play, but you never know. 2E4. 2 and a 12, he'll get to that. E4 and a 13 should be no problem for a first baseman. Nope, 14 would have been an error. 13 is a good play. So Chambliss will take it to the bag himself to beat the speedy Durham to first base. 1 away. Brings up Jeremy Giambi, otherwise known as Jason's little brother. 3-3 for Giambi, and he does what he does best. Walks. That's why they got him for the money ball to walk. So Giambi's aboard. He's an E-stealer. He will not be held. And here's Miguel Tejada. 2-5 for Tejada. Ground ball second base C. That will advance the runner. So Giambi will make it to second on the 4-3 ground out. So now there's 2 down for Eric Chavez. Do they pitch to Chavez? They're going to have to because Justice homered last time. So you don't want to walk Chavez and then pitch to Justice. So they're going to pitch to Chavez. 5-9. And it's trouble. That's Catfish's weak spot. 5-9. 1 to 12 is a homer. 13 to 20 is a triple. 1 to 12, we got a 2-run bomb by Chavez. And we do. It's a 2. So Eric Chavez, 2-run homer. And they get those 2 runs right back. And that might be all for Catfish. I'm thinking that's going to be very close to being all for Catfish. And actually, the Yankees are going to bring in a lefty, not Tidrow, but they're going to bring in left-hander Sparky Lyle. So Sparky Lyle will be coming on in place of Catfish because the A's have some lefties coming up. So Sparky Lyle will be the new pitcher. Catfish goes 4 2/3 and is going to be tagged with 5 runs, 2 of them off the homer. So the long ball bit him. It's 5-2 A's, and he faced 22 batters. All right, so now Lyle will face Chavez with 2 outs and the base is clear. 1-7 for Chavez against the lefty, struck him out. So Lyle did his job there, gets the strikeout, gets out of the inning. But 2 more runs come in. It's now a 5-2 Oakland lead. Moneyball hanging in there. Actually using the long ball for Moneyball. So now Mulder be in there to face Willie Randolph. It's Randolph, Munson, and Jackson. 3-9 for Randolph. 3-9 against a lefty is a walk. So leadoff walk to Randolph. And he will have to be held. He's a double-A stealer. You could try to steal. You're down by 3, though. Let's see. Catcher Hernandez is a -2 arm, so you're not gonna risk that. Not gonna risk getting him thrown out. So here is Thurman Munson. 2-7 for Munson, and that's a single 2 stars. So they'll put runners at the corners, and back come the Yankees. Now here's Reggie Jackson. Oakland bullpen. Chad Bradford, the side-winding right-hander, is loosening in the Oakland bullpen. So right now you got the lefty on lefty with Reggie. 4-2 for Mulder. 4-2 is a walk, and that's going to load the bases. So the bases are loaded. 2 walks and a single. They have loaded them up with nobody out for Sweet Lou. Mulder. Now, if you bring in Bradford, then you got some more lefties coming up. You got Chambliss and Nettles after that. So pick your poison. think they're going to try to let Mulder get through this. Let's see. 5-8. 5-8 against Mulder. And that was a bad move. 5-8. 1 to 11 is a double. 12 to 20 is a single. 2 stars both ways. So 2 runs are going to score either way. Just a matter of whether it's a double or a single. 1 to 11 is a double. It is a 16. So it's a single 2 stars for Piniella. And that will score Randolph and Munson. Cuts the lead to 5-4. Moves Jackson to third. And now you got Nettles, Chambliss and Nettles, 2 lefties coming up. So they're going to stick with Mulder, I guess. But 1 more run scored, he's out of there. Infield is going to play, not have to play in. I mean, it's a 5-4 game now. You don't want the tying run coming in. So they're going to play in. 6-2 against the lefty. 6-2 is a walk. It doesn't make any difference. He walks Chambliss, and that's going to be it for Mulder. Art Howe has seen enough. He's going to make the move. He's going to make the move, and even though it's against a lefty coming up, they're going to bring in Chad Bradford, the right-hander, who is good at inducing double plays and ground balls. So they're going to see if Bradford can get it done. Mulder was going fine until this 6th inning. He just totally collapsed. He goes 5+. And he faces 24 batters. Can't tell about the runs because all runners on base are his responsibility. He could still lose this game. So now it's up to Nettles. Bases loaded, nobody out. Infield's in. They're going to try to cut that run off at the plate. Maybe get a double play that way. 6-5. 6-5 against Bradford for a lefty. It's a ground ball shortstop X. That is Tejada. He's a good shortstop. He is a 1, I believe. Yep, 1E19, so it could be a double play at the plate, unless he makes an error. 1E19. 1 and a 4. That could be trouble, though. That might, and a 5 is a rare play, so this is going to be really interesting. See what happens here. 1 and a 4 on the chart. A 1 and a 4 is a G2 with an asterisk, so that means it gets through because the infield was in. That means when you have that that little pound sign, that means it's a single 2 star. It converts to a SI2. So we got an SI2 with a rare play. So we go over here to SI2 rare play, and let's try to read it. See if I can read it with you. Might take my glasses off so I can read this thing. It says, with base runners advancing 2 bases, if the batter rounds first, the fielder throws behind him and catches him off the bag for the out. Okay, so he is going to be out. He rounded the bag too much, but it's a single 2 stars for Nettles, and the Yankees will actually take the lead now, 6-5. Those runs charged to Mulder, and Chambliss will go to third. Nettles is going to be out. I'm not going to worry about how he was out. He's just out. We'll just call it. Maybe 9-3. Maybe right fielder thrown behind him. That's the first out. But now you have Chambliss at third with 1 out. And Roy White, the batter, infield's going to have to stay in. But, of course, being in cost them last time because they brought the infield in and they got that pound sign. So what could have been a double play turned into an infield or turned into a 2-run single. And actually, it was past the shortstop. So we'll call it a 7-3. It doesn't really matter. It really, at this point, doesn't matter I'm not keeping defensive stats. 4-9 for White. Bradford's White's a switch hitter batting left. 4-9's a single 2 off of Bradford. And that will bring home Chambliss. Another run for the Yankees. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs for the Yankees. So Mulder gives up 7 runs, all totaled. Is both inherited runners score, or all 3 score, I should say. So now that brings up Bucky Dent. Runner at first. White will be held. 3-10 for Dent. He lines it to third. Chavez has it. And that's only out number 2. Now the 9th man to bat in the inning, Mickey Rivers, steps to the plate. 4-9 against Bradford. That's a single 2 stars. That'll put runners at the corners. Yankees have now batted around here in the 6th. Willie Randolph started this thing with a leadoff walk. And now he's coming around to bat again. So Art Howe not happy. And who knows where Billy Beane is. Here's Randolph. 2-7 for Randolph against a right-hander. He's going to fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. Would have been a clutch of hit had we been doing super advanced, but obviously we're not. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs for the Yankees. They now take a 7-5 lead. And Sparky Lyle, how about that? He's now the pitcher of record for the Yankees. He's going to stay in there for one more inning at least. And then maybe turn it over to Tidrow and Gossage. Here's Justice. Actually, Justice made the last out last inning. My bad. It's Hatterberg, actually, it's batting, not Justice. Hatterberg's a bat. 3-6 for Hatterberg, and he singles against the lefty. So, single for Hatterberg. And that brings up Hernandez. Hatterberg will not be held. Hernandez, 4-7 against a righty for Sparky Lyle. 4-7's a fly to center. That's one away. Brings up Carlos Pena. DH. 1-8 for Pena against the lefty. Lyle struck him out. Could have possibly pinch hit for him, but you need him in there late in the game when Gossage is in there most likely. So you're trying to look ahead a little bit. Here's Terrence Long. 1-4 for Long. He gets a single to left field. So that's going to put runners at first and second with 2 outs. And the order flips over to Ray Durham. Ray Durham. Switch hitter now batting right. That's a 1-4 against a lefty. He fouls out to Munson, and that's going to end the inning. So the A's, again, leave more people on base. That's going to be their downfall. One of their downfalls is leaving too many guys on base. And now the Yankees come back up to the plate. Bradford's going to have to leave. He goes an inning, but didn't do a whole lot. Faced 4 batters, but he wasn't really effective. So they're going to go bring in, let's see here, they're going to bring in the guy they picked up in the trade from Cleveland, Ricardo Rincon, the lefty. So Ricardo Rincon is in. And he'll be facing, actually he'll be facing Randolph. I don't know why I had Munson up there. It should be Randolph at because Rivers made the last out. So Randolph, Munson, and Jackson. Against the lefty Rincon, 5-7. Against the righty, struck him out. So Rincon with the K. Brings up Thurman. 6-2 for Rincon. That's a fly to right. Justice has got that. 2 down. And that brings up Reggie Jackson, lefty on lefty matchup against Rincon. 6-9, 6-9, and Reggie's going to double off of him. Look at that. They only hit in column 6, and he found it. 6-9. It's a double for Reggie. So Rincon gets the righties and doesn't get the lefty. Now he's got another righty to deal with in Lou Piniella. Could walk Lou and then pitch to Chambliss, but they're going to go ahead and pitch to Lou carefully. 5-7, struck him out. It's a dot there, but obviously he's not tired. That's going to end the inning. So 7th inning stretch we go. 7-5 Yankees. And now the Yankees will turn. Well, no, Giambi's still up. So let's see, Giambi. Yeah, they're going to stick with, let's see, Lyle. He's got a 3 relief rating, so he's still good to go. They're going to stick with Lyle as long as he's effective. So Lyle in there facing Giambi. Tejada and Chavez, 2 out of 3 left-handers. 5-12 against the lefty for Sparky. He's a ground ball first base X. That's Chambliss. He's a 2-4. So should be able to make that play. 2 and a 9. He will get to that. E4 and a 12. E4 and a 12. The only error on an E4 first baseman is a 14. So 12 is good. And that's 1 away. That will send up Miguel Tejada. 5-4 against Sparky Lyle. 5-4 is a catcher X. That's Thurman Munson. Nobody's on base, so no chance of a pass ball or wild pitch. Most likely going to be a pop out of some sort. 2E6 for Munson, or it could be a grounder. 2E6. 2 and a 12 is good to go. 2 and a 12 is a pop out. And that's a 9. E6 and 9. No 9. So it's just a pop out to Munson for out number 2. And that sends up Eric Chavez. So Sparky Lyle's doing the job. for sure. 1-5. Chavez against the lefty. 1-5 is a fly to right. Handed by Piniella. Innings over. So the Yankees still clinging to that 7-5 lead. Now the question is, or the struggle is, it would normally be Goose Gossage time for the 8th and 9th, but my rule is if a reliever pitches 2 innings in one game, they have to rest the next game, so you don't want to lose Gossage for the chance to play the Brooklyn Dodgers, so got to be thinking ahead here. Chambliss will be facing Rincon. The A's are in desperate times. They can't worry about tomorrow or the next day. They got to try to win now. So Rincon facing Chambliss. 4-7, struck him out. So Rincon gets the strikeout. 1 away, brings up another lefty, Greg Nettles. 2-7, Nettles against the lefties. Ground ball to second. Durham's got it. 2 down. Rincon's going to try to pitch 2 innings for him. Roy White, then they'll bring in their closer, Koch, because it really doesn't matter at this point. 4-7, White against Rincon, bats right-handed. 1-7's a single. Anything else, and it's a ground ball to first. That's a single for Roy White. 2-out single. Roy White, and he will be held at first base for Bucky Dent. 1-7 against the lefty for Bucky Dent. He's going to ground to short. There's a plus sign there, but the second baseman's holding the runner, not the shortstop, because of the right-hander. So it's a good play. Good play to end the top of the 8th. So we go to the bottom of the 8th, and they're going to bring in Dick Tidrow. And if he gets in any kind of trouble, Goose Gossage is waiting in the wings. But right now, it is going to be Dick Tidrow. Tidrow, pretty good, 78. Well, decent. Actually, he was mostly a starter, but he does have relief rating, so they're going to bring him in. They don't have a whole lot other than Gossage and Lyle. I mean, they do have Paul Lindblad, but he's not the best in the world. So they just have to go with what they got because they want to save Gossage as much as possible. So Justice is on to face Tidrow, but if he gets in any kind of trouble, he is out of there. So very short leash. And for Lyle, he goes 2 1/3. So he will be unavailable next game, but they can't worry about that right now. They got to do what they can to get this game done. So Justice facing off against Tidrow. And that is a 5-4 against the lefty for Tidrow. 5-4 is a leadoff walk. So hold the phone here. It's 7-5, but now the tying runs at the plate in Hatteberg. 2-11 for Hatteberg against a right-hander. Ground ball shortstop B. It's a fielder's choice. So 6-4, fielder's choice. And that brings up the catcher, Hernandez. Ramon Hernandez. 4-10 against Tidrow. 4-10's a fly to right, center, rather. No ballpark effects, so it's simply a fly out, 2 down. And it's up to Carlos Pena, and that's why we didn't pinch hit for Carlos Pena earlier, because you wanted him for this kind of at bat. 4-9 against Tidrow, and he comes through. 1-6 is a double, 7-20 is a single, 2 stars, so the run will not score. But I believe this is going to be all for Tidrow. Gossage is going to come in next. That's a 1, so it's a double, but it's a 2-star double. So therefore, runners are just at second and third, but Tidrow did get them 2/3 of an inning, which was critical, because now Gossage can pitch an inning and a third and still come back the next day, per my rules. So Gossage will be coming on, and he'll be facing Terrence Long, the center fielder. So Gossage is on, and in 1978, Gossage was 10-11, 2.01 ERA, and 27 saves, and he will be on to face Terrence Long with runners. It's the tying runs at second and third with 2 outs. Here's Long against Gossage. 112. That's a walk. That's going to load the bases. So the bases are now loaded for Ray Durham, second baseman. Switch hitter will now turn and bat left-handed against Gossage. But this is pretty much the game for the A's. They got to come through right here. 6-12, switch hitter batting left. 6-12 is a fly ball left field X. That's Roy White. So Roy White has to make the play. Defensively, Roy White checks in as a 3-2. So good error, but so-so on the range. 3-2. 3-2, it's going to get through for a hit, or drop in for a hit, I should say. A 3 and a 2 is a double 2 stars. No error on the play. I don't think a 13 is going to be an error on that. I don't think so. Nope, no 13 for an error, but it's a double 2 stars, and that will tie the game. We are tied at 7, double and 2 stars, as Gossage couldn't get it done. We are now tied at 7 apiece. Runners at second and third, 2 down for Jeremy Giambi. 4-11 off of Gossage. It's ground ball second base A. That's going to end the inning. Damage done, though. We go to the ninth, tied at 7-7. And Billy Koch coming in for the A's. He is their closer. Gossage will, of course, pitch the bottom of the ninth as well. So Billy Koch will be coming on for the A's. In tie game in the ninth. He is 11-4, 327, 44 saves for the A's. Facing the top of the order, Mickey Rivers, Willie Randolph, and Thurman Munson. So Billy Koch coming on. Billy Koch coming on to face Mickey Rivers, Mick the Quick. 6-5, Koch against the lefty. Struck him out. So he strikes out Mickey Rivers. 1 away. And here's Willie Randolph. 3-9 for Randolph against Koch, and that is a strikeout. All these hits and walks in column 3, and he found the 3-9, which is a strikeout. So Koch comes in and strikes out the first 2 he faces. And now he's got Thurman Munson. Can the Yankees blow this game after seemingly having it in control? 3-12. Hit by pitch plus injury. So we got to check and see if Thurman has to come out. 1 through 6, and he can stay in. Anything above a 6, and he's got to come out. Whoops, let's roll it on the thing where you can see it. Still can't see it. Let's see if I can get it on the scoreboard. It's an 8, so he has to come out. Now, he would be eligible for the next round if they make it, but he's got to come out today. And the new catcher will be Cliff Johnson. He's the only other catcher on the roster. Obviously not a very good catcher. He is a 4E16, so not very good at all. But what are you going to do? It's the only catcher you have. So Cliff Johnson will take over as Munson could not shake it off. He has to come out. So now that brings up Reggie, Mr. October. Let's see if he's Mr. May. 6-10. Nope, fly ball to center. That's going to end the inning. That's going to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Gossage is going to stay in there because he's eligible to do so. But this will be Gossage's last inning. After that, they're going to have to go somewhere else. Maybe a long relief man or something. So now Billy Koch could come in next inning, but if he does, he won't be eligible for the next round. So you got to weigh your options. But then again, you got to get to the next round. So you definitely weigh in those managerial options. All right, here's Tejada to lead things off in the bottom of the ninth, tied at 7. 112 for Tejada against a right-hander. Would have been a ballpark home run chance, but in advanced, it's simply going to be a fly to left. So no diamond shot there. So Gossage got away with one. Warning track power on that one. Here's Eric Chavez, who's already homered once. 6-4. Struck him out. 6-4 is a strikeout for Gossage. 2 down. And here is Hatteberg. 4-10 for Hatteberg. Ground ball shortstop X. Ground ball shortstop X is Bucky Dent. Bucky Dent checks in. There's a 2E14. 2 and an E14. 2 and a 7. Should get to that. E14 and a 9. There is no 9. So it's good play for Bucky Dent. And we're going to extra innings. And what both managers have now decided to do is that since they have their aces going in the next round, both Zito and Guidry, that they may not need their bullpen that much, so they're going to leave Gossage in, and they're going to leave Billy Koch in. So it's Billy Koch and Gossage until they get tired. They're laying on the line in this game. They can't worry about tomorrow. They have to get there first. It's the top of the 10th, and it is going to be Sweet Lou stepping to the plate. 4-5 against Koch. Struck him out, so one away. And that's going to take us to Chris Chambliss. Chambliss and then Nettles. 5-6 against the lefty. Another strikeout for Koch. So he's ringing them up. And now that I bring up Nettles, oops, dropped my pen. Usually drop my dice once a game, but this time I dropped my pen. Go figure. 3-7 for Nettles against a right-hander. He's going to fly to center. And that's going to do it for the Yankees here in the 10th. So bottom of the 10th we go. Gossage back out there, which means he will not be eligible next round if they make it. But with Guidry, you would have Guidry on the mound, so he's a complete game waiting to happen. So you got to do what you got to do. So Ramon Hernandez is in against Gossage. Now they could pinch hit for Hernandez if they really wanted to. They do have left-handed hitting Greg Myers on the bench as a catcher. He's not as good though as Hernandez, even though he's a lefty, so they're going to stick with Hernandez. 6-9 for Gossage against a right-hander is a leadoff walk. Now what they may do is they may pinch run here, because that run is going to be super important. Actually, it's Hatterberg, not Hernandez. How did Hernandez get up there? I got these out of order, my bad. So it was a 6-9 against a lefty, which is still going to be a walk. So either way you go, it's a walk. Hatterberg doing that money ball thing. He's an E-Stealer, so they could very well pinch run for him. They could have Olmedo Signs play first base. They don't have a lot of speed on the bench. Well, they do have Randy Velarde. So they're going to bring in Randy Velarde. He didn't have that great a playing time, but he is a C-Stealer with a 13 speed, and he does play first base. Not very well, but he plays first base. So they're going to have a pinch runner, Randy Velarde, to force the Yankees to hold him on. So Velarde is going to pinch run and stay in to play first base if it goes to the 11th. Now, Ramon Hernandez is up. He's a B bunter. He would become a C bunter. So they're going to still, the play is still to bunt. That's still to play. Oh, that's a 12. That could be trouble. C bunter and a 12. A C bunter and a 12. C bunter and 12. Batter pops out into a double play. How do you like that? With the 2D6s being a 12, it becomes a double play pop out to the catcher, Thurman Munson. So, I'm sorry, to Cliff Johnson, who's the new catcher, my bad. So he's going to pop it out to Cliff Johnson. Johnson's going to throw to Chambliss to double off the pinch runner Velarde. So much for pinch running. He is out of there. Now all of a sudden it's 2 outs, bases clear for Carlos Pena. So disaster for the A's trying that bunt. And Billy Beane saying, I told you so. Frustrated with Art Howe. 3-6. 3-6 for Pena is another walk. So they're going to try it again. 2 outs, runner at first. Pena, he's a D-Stealer, will not be held. And that brings up Terrence Long. I don't know how Justice got in the way there. Should be Terrence Long. Let me get these in the correct order. Terrence Long, the batter, number 9 hitter. Terrence Long with Pena at first. 1-7 for Long. Ground ball shortstop plus. Now, was the runner being held? No, he was not. If he had been held, it would have gotten through for a base hit because of that plus sign with the shortstop holding the runner. But since he was not being held, it's simply a ground ball to short, and the inning is over. So we go to the 11th. Nothing's been decided. Now Koch, let's see what his fatigue is. He's gone 2 innings, but he's only faced 6 batters and given up 1 thing against his point of weakness, so he's going to stay in there and try to go 1 more inning. Here's Roy White, and so will Gossage. He'll try to go 1 more inning as well. 2-5. 2-5 for Roy White, and that's a ground ball to second. Durham's got it. 1 away. That brings up Bucky Dent. Now you could pinch hit for Dent and use Fred Stanley at short, so let's see if they might want to do that. They do have Jim Spencer on the bench. They do have Gary Thomason on the bench. And they do have Brian Doyle on the bench. Let's see. Spencer's 227. What is Dent? Dent is 243. It's a pretty good defensive shortstop, though. So you would lose something with Stanley at short. So they're going to stick with Dent. If somebody's on base, they might pinch hit for him, but base is clear. They're going to stick with him. 410 against a right-hander. Fly to right, and that's going to be 2 down. So it's beginning to be a war of attrition. 2 down for Cliff Johnson, the new catcher. He came in when Munson was injured. 4-8. 4-8, and it's a 1-12 single. 13-20, he grounds out, but a 1-12, and we got a single out of Cliff Johnson. It's a 20, so he's out. And that's going to go ground ball to short. So Tejada's got it. Wait a minute, that wasn't Cliff Johnson. What was he doing? How did he get out of order like that? Must have put him in the wrong way. Mickey Rivers is the batter. So let's recalculate the at-bat. 4-8. So this time it's against a lefty. 4-8. So much different here. 1-3 is a triple. 4-20 is a single. We rolled a 20, so it's a single for Mickey Rivers. Not bad. Don't know how I managed to mess that one up. All these switches, I guess. And Mickey Rivers is an A stealer. You better believe he's going to try to steal. 1-15 is a stolen base for a stealer. -2 for being held is a 13. -1 from Hernandez, the catcher. -2 from Hernandez, the catcher, makes him an 11. Still got to try. It's over 50%. So 1-11, he will steal. And he's out, caught stealing. So took a chance, didn't happen. And we're going to the bottom of the 11th. So, but you had to take the chance. You had to get him in scoring position somehow for Willie Randolph, but it just didn't work out. So that's going to do it for Koch. He goes 3 innings, and that's the most he's going to be able to go. And this is Gossage's last inning as well. And that will be Ray Durham to lead it off. Top of the order for the A's here in the bottom of the 11th. 2-7 for Durham. Solid single. So leadoff single for Durham, and you know he's running. Durham is a stealer as well. And Cliff Johnson, the new catcher, is not going to help the cause. He's a +2 arm. So A stealer starts at 15. You lose 2, makes him a 13, but you get the 2 back on Cliff Johnson, makes him a 15. So 1-15, and he will steal. 2, it's a possible throwing error on Cliff Johnson, so it's getting from bad to worse for the Yankees. He's a T16, so very likely a throwing error here. It's a 14, it is a throwing error, so it's a steal and a throwing error on Cliff Johnson. And all of a sudden, Durham is at third base with nobody out. The infield's going to have to come in. They have no choices. Runner at third, winning runs at third with nobody out. Here's Jeremy Giambi. And so that injury to Munson really coming into play. 4-8 against Gossage. Struck him out. He needed that. It's not out of the woods yet. There's only 1 out. He's got to deal with Tejada. Well, if the A's don't score now, they may never score. Here's Tejada. 3-9 for Tejada. Struck him out. So Gossage comes back with 2 strikeouts, trying to pick up his buddy Cliff Johnson. And here's Eric Chavez. 2 outs now. Infield can return to normal for Chavez. Or they could walk Chavez and pitch to Justice. You got to pick your poison. They're going to go ahead and... What do they want to do here with this? You know what they're going to do? They're going to try something unorthodox. They're going to intentionally walk Chavez and intentionally walk Justice to load the bases for Velarde, who's a much lesser hitter. So Velarde, the righty-on-righty matchup against Gossage, they're going to play the percentages. A little bit unorthodox to do that, but Bob Lemon says, let's do it. He likes Gossage's chances against Velarde better than he does against Justice or Chavez. Let's see if it works. Now, if Gossage walks in the winning run, it's a dumb move. We get a 4-7 against the right-hander. Struck him out. There's a dot there, but he's not tired yet because he hasn't given up enough stuff to be tired. So the intentional walks, I'm not counting against him. So that's going to be a strikeout. To end the inning, we go to the 12th. So the strategy pays off, doing those intentional walks. And we go to the 12th. We need a new pitcher for the A's and a new pitcher for the Yankees. Billy Koch is now done. They've used Rincon, Bradford, and Koch. So now who do they want to use? They've got a couple of righties and a lefty. that they can go to. Who's coming up for the Yankees? Randolph, Johnson, and Jackson. So some righties are coming up. So they're going to go to the right-hander out of the pen. And that right-hander is going to be not very good, but that's all they have. Jim Messier. So Jim Messier is 6-4, 4.25 ERA and a save. Or maybe it was 4.26, I don't know. So, top of the 12th, and actually, since the Yankees batted around, I've already used up all my 12 innings, so I'm going to have to use this spot right here for my top of the 12th. And if I run out of this, I'm going to go to a different sheet of paper to keep score because my score sheet only goes to 12 innings. So Messier is in. Koch went 3, so he's definitely not available tomorrow, the next game if they make it. But Messier is in to face Willie Randolph to start things off. 4-4 against the right-hander. Ground ball shortstop excess Tejada. He's a 1, E19. And a 1, we know he gets to it, so just checking for an error. E19 and a 12. Nope, you have to have a 4 or a 14 to make an error. 12 is a good play, so Tejada makes the play, and Randolph is out of there. Here's Cliff Johnson, and he's got to thank Goose Gossage for getting him off the hook on that throwing error. 2-5. Cliff Johnson, ground ball to short. Tejada's got it again, 2 down. And that will send up Reggie Jackson. 4-7 against Messier. Pops to second. That's going to end the inning. And now the problem for the Yankees is Gossage can no longer pitch. So they're going to have to go to somebody else. They've already used Tidrow. They've already used Sparky Lyle. So let's see who they got left. They have Ken Clay. And they have Paul Lindblad, who's a lefty. Beatty's a righty. Clay is a righty. A's have Hernandez, Pena, and Long, a couple of lefties plus a righty. So they're going to go to Paul Lindblad, who ironically is also another former Oakland A. But Paul Lindblad, 1-1 with a 3.88 ERA and 2 saves. So Paul Lindblad, the lefty, is on here in the 12th. Bottom of the 12th. Hernandez, the batter, against the lefty, 3-8. 3-8 Hernandez against the lefty, 3-8. He pops to short. Bucky Dent's got it. 1 away. We could be looking at the 13th. Here's Carlos Pena. 2-9 for Pena against the lefty. Fly to left. Would have been a ballpark home run chance if we were doing super advanced, but we're not. So there's 2 down. And that's going to bring up Terrence Long. 4-6 for Lindblad. Fly to center. That's going to end the inning. We're going to the 13th. So 13th inning we go. Hope my recording holds out through all this. 13 innings, that's for sure. Let's see here. Lindblad can go a couple of innings. So can Messier. So Messier is back out for the top of the 13th. And that takes us to Sweet Lou. Sweet Lou Piniella is the batter. And I'm going to have to get a piece of paper and keep score the rest of the way, I think, because I'm out of score sheet. So, see if I can grab a scratch sheet of paper, try to keep score on, at least figure out what's going on anyway. A little scratch sheet of paper I'll use this, how about that, just to the side here so I can know what's going on. All right, so Piniella is the batter. Top of the 13th, tied at 7. 2-7. For Piniella, fly to center. 1 away. I guess, yeah, I'm really out of room there, aren't I? So fly to center. Piniella is out. Here's Chambliss. 5-8. 5-8 Chambliss. 1-4 is a triple. 5-20 is a simple fly out to Justice. So can Chambliss fit it in the gap around Justice? He can. It's a 3. It's a triple. So how about that? Chris Chambliss, as Justice plays that fly ball into a triple. Official score gives him a triple. And now the infield's going to have to come in for Greg Nettles. Now we do have White and Dent after this. So again, you can run that same risk. Do you pinch? Do you walk Nettles? Well, White's gotten 3 hits, so you're not going to do that. So here's Nettles. If you get Nettles, then you can walk White and pitch to Dent. But the infield is in. So was the outfield, for that matter. 1-7. Nettles, 1-7. Ground ball, second base A with a plus. So with the infield in, that means that gets through for a base hit. So playing the infield in cost them. Base hit for Nettles, and that gives the Yankees an 8-7 lead. Nettles with an RBI single. Now that brings up Roy White. 112 for White against a right-hander. Ground ball, shortstop B, fielder's choice. That's out number 2. And that takes us to Bucky Dent. So he will stay in the game with that 1-run lead, obviously. Not going to pinch hit for him now. 1-4. 1-4 against the righty. Ground ball to third base plus injury. Look at that. More injuries. Ground ball to third base plus injury. So looks like we might be having Fred Stanley in the game. Let's take a look here. 13th inning. 1 run for the Yankees, but so 1 through 6 he stays in the game, 7 through 20, and Fred Stanley comes in. Fred Stanley's going to come in, so Bucky Dent is out. Fred Stanley is in, the chicken. Fred Chicken Stanley. He's a 3E31, so not as good as Bucky Dent, but they only need him to play defense for 1 inning. And they're going to let Lindblad see if he can try to hold on to get a win here. But Stanley is the new shortstop here in the 13th. It'll be top of the order for the A's. I'm sorry, yeah. Top of the order for the A's. I didn't write in I don't remember what Long did, so it doesn't really matter. Not keeping score. I just know that Ray Durham's the batter. 3-7. 3-7 against the lefty. Struck him out. So Durham, I can go up here for the 13th. Durham struck him out. So 1 out away, and we're going to get a pinch hitter for Jeremy Giambi. With the lefty up, they're going to bring in Olmedo Signs. Olmedo Signs, a right-hander, is going to pinch hit for Giambi. And Signs does not play the outfield, but they do have, let's see, do they have anybody else that can play outfield? Boy, they're out of outfielders, so unless there's somebody else that can move to the outfield. Let me check their lineup before I make this move and make sure I'm not cheating myself. Well, you know what? Eric Chavez can play left field if he had to. So we will make the move. Olmedo Signs will come on. Pinch hit. He would take over at third base and Chavez would move to left field. That's the way it would work. So let's see. First of all, they got to get through this. Signs against the lefty Lindblad. 110 for Signs. Oh, he had a ballpark home run chance, but not in the advance. It's simply a fly to left. And it's 2 down, so now it's up to Tejada. Last chance. They're going to stick with Lindblad. They're not going with the righty. They like the way Lindblad's pitching. So here's Tejada. Hasn't done much yet. 3-7. 3-7. He's still not going to do anything. It's ground ball to short, and that's the ball game. The Yankees outlast the A's by the score of 8-7, and they will advance to take on the Brooklyn Dodgers. Now, key note is that Goose Gossage will not be available in that game, so they're going to hope Guidry can give them a lot of innings. But New York advances. And now we got an old-fashioned brawl. New York, just like old times, New York and Brooklyn in the Final Four. But again, Gossage not available, so Guidry better go a lot of innings. The rest of the bullpen is available, just not Gossage. But they advance, and that's all that matters. They outlast the Moneyball A's. And tell Billy Bean, so much for your Moneyball. Next 2 games up. Only 2 games left to get to the Final Four. 61 Yankees against the 79 Pirates. And the 86 Mets against the 2003 Yankees. So at least you're going to have at least 2, could be possibly 3 New York teams in the Final Four the way it works out. So that's it from here. I'm worn out after that 13 innings. I was running out of room on my score sheet, running out of players, getting injuries, didn't know what was going on. It's kind of a mess. Even though today's Tuesday, it was kind of a manic Monday kind of thing. But glad you all stuck around and hung in there with me and got through this thing. So the Yankees of 78, despite, like Mike says, despite being a, tweaked from the regular set, in the gem set, being a gem set, they do some tweaking on it, but they still managed to hang on and get the win in advance. So they're going to face Brooklyn And it will be Ron Guidry on the Brooklyn ace as well. And why am I drawing a blank on his name? That's pretty bad. What's the Brooklyn's pitcher? Boy, I'm drawing a blank on his name. Why can't I think of his name? I had it in my head, and now I drew a total blank on what the guy's name is. Oh boy, and I can't even think of it now. Oh well, it'll come to me later. Newcomb, yes, thank you, Mike. Don Newcomb will be on the mound for the Brooklyn Dodgers against Ron Guidry, because we've gone 3 rounds, and now the top stars can come back in the final 4. So you get pitchers wanting, aces going here. And if the Yankees survive and make it to the finals, it would be Ed Figueroa in the final. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you enjoyed that long-winded and tiring presentation. At least I'm tired anyway, of this game. I'm going to probably do one more offline today while I'm off, because if you haven't noticed, we're almost running out of May. So I want to get this thing done before we get to June. So I'll probably do one more to upload. And probably will be the New York versus New York game. It'd be the Yankees against the Mets. And that's going to be a Bob Ojeda versus Roger Clemens matchup. I had a choice between Sid Fernandez and Bob Ojeda. Bob Ojeda's got a slightly better ERA. So I'm going with Ojeda for the Mets against Roger Clemens for the Yankees. And then if the Yankees advance, it'd be Mike Mussina here. And if the Mets advance, it'd be Dwight Gooden. So looking ahead anyway. All right, so that's going to do it from here. Glad you were able to come in. And for those that are catching it live, for those that are catching it later, glad you tuned in. Appreciate you doing so. I'm going to get my rest now and fire up another game later. So hope you guys are having a great day. For some of you, if you're working from home, it's back to work after the holiday. My back to work starts tomorrow. For others, stay safe out there. Take care of your family and yourself. And until next time, I will see you all down the road.